In this slide presentation, we are going to be looking at value-added support strategies. Now that you have recommended various services and or products to be modified or begun in order to add value to the organization, it is now important to look at what impact those new services or products are going to have on your organization from a support standpoint. As you will recall from your health systems course, the support activities of an organization consist of the organizational culture, the organizational structure, and the strategic resources. When looking at value-added support services, it will be important to look at the organizational culture, the organizational structure, and the organizational strategic resources to determine if any modifications to these support services are necessary in order to support the new services and or products that are being recommended. As you will recall about the organizational culture from your last course, the organizational culture consists of shared assumptions, shared values, and behavioral norms. Now that you have determined the services and or products that are going to add value to your organization, do these services and or products have any impact to the shared assumptions of the organization or the shared values, or are the behavioral norms going to be impacted? If so, it is important to make these notations in your strategic plan and your strategy formulation and strategy implementation. Now that you've determined the services and or products that are going to add value to your organization, you also need to look to determine whether these added valued services and products have any impact on the organizational structure. As you remember, the organizational structure can be structured in a functional perspective, a divisional perspective, or through matrix. Now that you have determined the additional services and or products that you want to use, will you have to change or modify the organizational structure in either a functional way, divisional way, or matrix way? If changes are expected, then modifications to the organizational structure should be included in the planning and implementation documents. Perhaps the most important aspect of looking at the value-added support services when considering value-added services and or products is to look at the strategic resources. The strategic resources should be viewed through the lens of the strategy formulation and the determination of the value-added services. Once these have been determined, it is important to look at what additional strategic resources are going to be necessary in order to adequately provide the services and or products that have been recommended in the value-added service delivery suggestions. It is important to look at what financial impact the new services and or products are going to have on the organization, what human resources are going to need to be made available in order to provide these services and or products, what additional information services